All right, here we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's live stream. In today's stream, we are going to be talking about episode 39 of Ninjago, entitled Spy for a Spy. This is the fifth episode of season 4, Tournament of Elements, and we're going to be breaking down this episode in today's review. Thanks, everyone who is joining pretty much right off the bat here. I see a couple of familiar faces in the chat. If you guys are new to the streams, welcome, welcome. The streams, in terms of how they work, we stream Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Central Time, with an episode review and a Q&A. And obviously, we're going to be updating this day by day. If there's ever a day where I cannot stream, I will let you guys know. The episode review will not take up the entirety of the stream. It's probably going to be the first 20-ish minutes. That's usually what it averages out to. But yeah, this episode is a favorite among a lot of people, and I see a lot of people in the chat right now making Among Us references. Yeah, this episode is pretty much Among Us. So those of you guys that are fans of that game, hopefully you'll enjoy this episode review. I myself don't really play that game as frequently as I would probably like, but you know, it is what it is. Let's go ahead and get to it. We're going to let the slideshow run in the background as we discuss various things about the episode. We're going to break down the plot, then we will talk about the good and the bad, and then finally, after we get done, I will be giving the episode a score out of 10. So let's go ahead and get to it. Let's not waste any time, and let's jump right into the plot of this episode. What exactly is going on here? The episode basically begins with a brief introduction of Chen's factory. A whole bunch of people are there, including a lot of the previously losing elemental masters. We got Cole and Karloff kind of having a little bit of a discussion, and Cole is unusually happy for being in this situation. Karloff asks him what's going on, and he is actually organizing a game plan to try to break Zane out of the prison. So that's kind of fun. That's going to be his goal throughout this episode, is to try to find Zane again and break him out after he actually came face to face with Zane in the last episode. He plans to deliver a message to the ninja in the form of a fortune cookie, which I'm glad that he learned what a fortune cookie was. For those of you guys watching, fortune cookies are not great in my opinion, especially the ones around here. They kind of taste a little weird, but I wonder what your guys' opinions are on fortune cookies, and the fortunes are always super average and whatnot, but this fortune is going to be something good. It's going to be a message to the ninja of Cole's game plan. So his plan is to put it in a fortune cookie and send it out to the fighters during a huge banquet type thing. After a few, close calls, it actually does go out to the fighters, so that's cool. Meanwhile, we get caught up with Nia and Dareth, who have now made it on the island and are currently taking refuge in the Ninja DBX. Dareth decides to disguise Nia as a kabuki, and yeah, that's how Nia's going to get close. And of course, Dareth unveils his epic, I guess, undercover skills or whatever. So that's fun. Yeah, Dareth is in this episode a lot. So yeah, don't be a Dareth for those of you guys in the chat. Yeah, Dareth somehow changed your clothes. Yeah, don't be a Dareth. You probably will get arrested. Meanwhile, we get to the banquet hall where all of the fighters are currently trying to enjoy a feast. We have the final 8 fighters here, and they discuss their game plan as well. Master Chen and Klaus also kind of discuss a little bit of their plan. They are aware that the elemental masters have allied themselves and that the ninja know of the weird, I guess, ritual thing where the powers are stolen, so that's fun. Shadow is pretty much being a little suspicious over there in the corner. He's not really, I guess, interacting with the other elemental masters, so we need to take that in mind. And Chen decides to make an announcement. He decides to discuss the rumors that he's stealing everyone's power, and then just immediately confirms it himself. So this is why I love Chen so much. It's because he's just out there. He's a villain. He's just a psycho, man. It's like that's who he is. If you guys have ever seen the movie American Psycho with Patrick Bateman, yeah, he's like 10 times worse than good old Christian Bale in that film. How did Dareth change Nia's clothes? Who's to say? I mean, Dareth is obviously a master of disguise, and he changed her clothes some way. But yeah, don't try to change people's clothes in public. It's not going to go well for you. I can guarantee you that right off the bat. Yeah, he very much was harassing her. But yeah, Chen basically comes clean about the fact that, yes, he is stealing all the powers, but he does kind of, I guess, present the Staff of Elements to the fighters, and he, I guess, lies to them and says that whoever wins the tournament will receive the Staff with all of the elements, and that immediately breaks up the alliance, as there is a little bit of infighting right off the bat after that announcement, and now the alliance doesn't really trust each other after all of the work that they put into the alliance in the last episode. So already they're kind of behind here in terms of progress, so that's not cool. The alliance is weakened, and Nia actually enters as a kabuki and actually gets close to Jay and the rest of the ninja, reveals herself and also reveals her plan. The ninja kind of inform her of the spell, and Nia informs her as well that there is a spy in their alliance. So now it's Among Us, basically. So yeah, there's a spy. And obviously, if you guys have seen the episode, you know who it is. But Lloyd's attention is immediately on Shadow, because Shadow's looking pretty suspicious over there. He's already kind of on thin ice with the rest of the ninja, if you will, the rest of the alliance. So, yeah, clearly something's going on with Shadow that Lloyd pretty much suspects. So, yeah, season 4 was Among Us. Yeah. Yeah, I wish I was more of a fan of that game, because I feel like I'd enjoy, I guess, that game a little more after comparing it to this episode. This episode, though, on its own is still pretty good. But yeah, Shadow's the prime suspect at this point, and he's going to be interrogated later on. Meanwhile, back at the noodle factory, Cole causes a little bit of trouble and basically enters the factory into chaos, so that's cool. But he does eventually get out, and by get out, I mean he's thrown into a prison cell, but he steals the keys, so that's cool. With the keys, he frees Zane, and the two of them actually go off on their own, trying to navigate through the tunnel after having a really sweet and heartfelt reunion. I really enjoyed that. But yeah, the reunion is pretty cool between Cole and Zane, and they're going to try to break out of there. Meanwhile, Nia manages to steal the spellbook page containing the mysterious spell that uses everyone's element, and she sees what it is and goes to tell the rest of the ninja. Klaus actually notices this and decides to, I guess, give a little bit of chase as well, kind of trying to hunt Nia in the process while also trying to warn Master Chen. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, in terms of why Lloyd suspected Shadow right away, I'm not so sure about that. I feel like it's just because out of all of the remaining masters, he's probably the most evil looking. I mean, if you take a look at the final 8 elemental masters, I mean, yeah, Shadow does seem like the most evil and dark, if you will. But yeah, meanwhile, after that's all said and done, Zane and Cole actually are trying to navigate through the tunnel, but they get intercepted by Klaus's giant anaconda serpents. That's not good. Kind of chases them for a little bit. Zane manages to show off a few new techniques of fighting and defense, using Pixel as a basis for that, so that's fun. We get to see them work together for one of the first times, with Pixel being in Zane's head, so that's cool. But yeah, they do manage to escape the serpent after a lengthy chase scene. That's actually pretty fun to watch, but they do manage to get free and continue their quest. Meanwhile, all of the masters pretty much meet in Kai's dorm, and Garmadon actually reveals that every single person that's worked for Master Chen before has an anaconda tattoo on their back. So Garmadon's logic: find the tattoo and find the spy, which is pretty common to me. I mean, that makes sense. Find whoever's working for Chen. So they begin checking everybody's backs, and eventually they get through everybody except for Skylar and Shadow. So already we got Shadow, who's pretty much the prime suspect, and Skylar pretty much questions Kai at this point, kind of asks him why he doesn't trust her, and Kai tries to, force the fact that it's not because he doesn't trust her, it's because they need to check everyone just to be fair. Causes a little bit of tension in between Kai and Skylar with the aspect of trust. There's no trust between them at this point, much to Kai's dismay and Skylar's disgust. At this point, Shadow decides to run away, which doesn't really help his case. I'm not sure why he decided to run away, because he's not the spy. But yeah, he eventually decides to run away, declaring that he's not part of the alliance, so the ninja pretty much suspect that it is Shadow at this current point in time. Skylar then walks away from Kai, reveals her back, and reveals no tattoo to him, so pretty much making him feel a little bit more upsetting, as a character. Kai and Skylar don't have a good time in this episode. Lots of trust is broken between them here, but it's not like it's Kai's fault. I mean, they have to check everybody. Kai tries to apologize, but Skylar really just doesn't care, so that's kind of upsetting. Meanwhile, Zane and Cole are successfully escaping the serpent, and they return to the factory to help out the other elemental masters due to a promise that Cole made to Karloff. They are going to be going back and helping the other masters break out after they successfully escaped the anaconda serpent. Nia is actually found out by Klaus and actually flees, and a battle breaks out between them, and that's kind of a cool fight between Klaus and Nia. Meanwhile, Dareth also blows his cover in a scene that's very cringy, if I can use that word, and yeah, it's not super great. He blows his cover and is kind of chased by the Anachondri cultists as well, so we have two instances of covers being blown. It doesn't really end up well for either of them. Nia manages to escape, so that's cool, and the episode actually ends with Master Chen meeting with his spy, and it's revealed to be Skylar. I mean, big surprise at the time, right? Yeah, but not so much nowadays. We know that the spy is Skylar, and she was using Form's power to disguise her back so that she doesn't have the tattoo. So, yeah, pretty cool stuff there, and that's where the episode actually ends. So, yeah, in terms of some good stuff, let's go ahead and get into it. Yes, Orange was the imposter after all. Yeah, successfully kind of destroyed and dismantled the alliance there. Dareth is Elvis in disguise, might as well be. Let's get into some of the good stuff. First of all, I do need to discuss the introduction with Chen and the banquet. This is why I love Chen so much, and I've mentioned this earlier in the review, but Master Chen is kind of insane, and that's what I love about him so much. He knows how to, I guess, manipulate the other fighters into doing what he wants to do, and he does confirm their suspicions while also breaking the alliance apart, which is something that I do need to admire. I mean, that's not something that a lot of villains can pull off, and Master Chen does it beautifully, so I really enjoy that. Master Chen is easily one of my favorite villains for that reason. He does provide the Staff of Elements as a prize for the tournament. Of course, we all know that that's not going to happen. But yeah, he's a really cool villain, and that scene pretty much emphasizes that fact. Yeah, I could say he's Ninjago's Joker. Yeah, I could see that being a thing. Something else that I need to discuss is Cole and Zane. They actually do reunite in this episode, officially after kind of meeting each other in the last episode, but they reunite here and they break out, and their plan is to head back to the factory and free the other masters. So now we basically got a prison break arc going on at the same time as the tournament, so that's really cool, and I really did enjoy their scene in which they were trying to escape the giant Anaconda serpent in the tunnels. We got to see a little bit more of what Zane can do, and we got to see some team-up action between Cole and Zane, which is a pretty fun duo that we don't really see as much as some of the other ninja team-ups that we've seen. I mean, Cole and Zane are a pretty good team, all things considered. Meanwhile, Kai and Skylar have a little bit of drama in this episode, which I do need to say is good for Kai's character, at least. Skylar, it obviously makes sense on her side. She's trying to break up the alliance even more because she is the spy for Chen, so that's cool. But it actually does develop Kai a little bit more. He and Skylar kind of had a little bit of a thing at the beginning of this episode, but it's pretty much shattered by the end, and that'll do a lot for Kai's character moving forward as he tries to win Skylar back. Meanwhile, we got an actual fight scene between Nia and Klaus, which is one of Nia's best fight scenes, I'd say, throughout the entire series. It is kind of short, and it is kind of, I guess, a little too quick for my liking, but the actual fighting is super fast-paced, and it does look really nice. I mean, Nia versus Klaus is a pretty good fight in this episode, and it's one of the only battles that we see, just straightforward, so it was nice to see that. But overall, I think it is one of Nia's best battles in the entire series. Really enjoyed that. Had to mention that in terms of the good stuff. Also, the whole tension is building here between the alliance, and it does kind of shatter them. We still have a few more rounds of the tournament to get through, so that'll play into the next few episodes. I really did enjoy that, seeing that tension rise, and we will see the payoff for that tension in the next couple of episodes here. Overall, it does a good job of setting up the rest of the tournament, I'd say. And also, we get the big reveal at the end of the episode that Skylar is the spy, in case any of us had any doubts. I did imagine back in the day when this episode came out, I imagined thinking that Skylar was the spy, and it turned out to be correct. So I had a theory back in the day that Skylar was the spy. I mean, it would only make sense. I doubt it would be Shadow. I mean, they tried to set up Shadow as the possible spy. I mean, they do have him run away and flee during the whole alliance meeting, which really didn't help his case. But no, Skylar being the spy, I was not surprised on back in the day watching this. I know it might have come to a shock for some people watching. To me, it didn't really hit as hard as some other big surprises in Ninjago, such as, for example, Zane's reveal as being a robot. That's pretty much still the biggest surprise that has ever hit me in terms of Ninjago. So not even Lloyd being revealed as the Green Ninja hit that hard. But yeah, this really didn't hit me all that much. But I do think it was a pretty cool setup there. So that's why I had to include it in the good stuff. And we actually did get the big reveal that not only is Skylar the spy, she's also Chen's daughter, which also plays into the plot a little bit too. We get to see how that will affect her character later on, and eventually when she does decide to change sides, we can see how that will affect her. But of course, that comes later on in the season. We're still only about halfway through right now. In terms of bad stuff, the only thing that I have to point out is that rewatching this episode last night, I did skip a portion because I just couldn't watch it, and that was the bit in which Dareth actually dances and sings in the DBX. I really don't like that. I skipped through it because it just made me feel gross. I felt like I needed to take a shower after I watched that. Kind of exaggerating, obviously, but no, I really didn't like that. So I had to skip that. I'm gonna be docking just a little bit of points for that, but it's not the biggest thing ever. It does lead into a pretty intense chase sequence that is kind of fun, but the beginning of that isn't all that great. I mean, it's not anyone's fault except the writing, I guess. But no, I still really didn't enjoy that. And something else that I need to point out as potentially being upsetting to some, not to me, but it might seem a little slow to some people, especially at the beginning. There's just a lot of talking and just a lot of discussion and build up, which some people might find boring, but I personally didn't. We get a lot of cool banter between the Elemental Masters and Master Chen, so that's not really a negative that I can point out in terms of my own personal opinion. I'm just saying that some people might take issue with that. Some people might call the beginning of this episode a little slow, but for the most part, I really don't think it's all that bad. The only big negative thing that I need to point out is the fact that Dareth kind of plays a big role in this episode, and he's not all that fun. So, yeah, I really have to just say that. So, that's pretty much going to do it for the bad stuff. There's a lot of good stuff to enjoy about this episode, though. Overall, it's just a really fun and enjoyable episode with a lot of setup and also a lot of payoff at the same time. This episode, I'm going to be giving a 9 out of 10 for everything I just listed in this review. In terms of what the drink is, we got a water bottle, which I will be sipping as you guys type your scores in the chat, too. So, yeah, let's see what you guys got for scores. As I take a sip of my water. Lots of high scores right off the bat. We got a couple of 8s, 8.5, 9s, bunch of 8s, couple 10s. Pretty high scores so far. I thought this episode was really well done. I mean, some of my favorite things about the episode, I guess, were the introduction to Chen's character a little bit more. We get to see a little bit more of what his manipulation tactics are. So, definitely good in my opinion. This is why I love Chen in season 4 so much. There's just a lot to enjoy. Really high scores here. A couple 8s, a couple more 10s. So yeah, pretty cool. I haven't really seen like a super low score yet. So for the most part, I'd say that the majority of you guys feel pretty strongly about this episode, which of course is a pretty cool thing. Obviously, that'll conclude the review for Spy for a Spy. Tonight, I will be watching the next episode, which is Spellbound, and we will be talking about that episode in tomorrow's stream. But for the time being, that'll do it for the review. So why don't we jump over to Q&A stuff? We still have a lot of time left in the stream, so let's jump into some questions and answers. I'm trying to find a season that we can start on in terms of background images. Like, which one haven't we started in a minute? I guess we haven't. I don't think we've gone through Day of the Departed in a while, so why don't we just start with that? And then we can always switch it up later on. But yeah, Spellbound is the next episode, so I'm excited to talk about that. Overall, watching Tournament again has been a really big treat because I love Tournament. In case you guys don't know, Tournament is my favorite season out of all of Ninjago, so it's been really fun rewatching that for these reviews. And I want to watch it all at once, but I need to pace myself here. I try to only watch one episode a day for the stream. That's going to be happening the next day because I really just don't want to cloud myself with all of the other episodes coming out. I want to focus on the individual episode at hand. So as much as I would love to watch the entire season all at once, I try to pace myself out. So force myself to kind of adapt to that. So yeah, let's get some questions in the chat. What do I think made Skylar's mom fall for a man like Chen when was she fully on his side during the war, or did Chen do something to her? That's a good question. In terms of how Chen even got anyone, that's something. It makes me kind of think that maybe Skylar's mom wasn't the most stable person out there, and perhaps maybe she had a few emotional issues or something like that that could have, I guess, swayed her more easily to Chen. I mean, Chen as a character, we know that he's like a master manipulator. He knows what he's doing in terms of, I guess, tricking people and messing with people's minds. And it's not like a power or anything like that. It's just the way that he is. I mean, that's something that could happen in real real life. I've seen that happen with people before. I've known people that have been similar to Chen, and I've seen like the effects that they can do on people. And I could very well see him, I guess, manipulating someone to, I guess, being with him, which isn't a great thing to talk about. But realistically, I mean, that's just a high possibility considering Chen's character. Again, we don't really know a lot about Skylar's mom at the moment. There hasn't really been a whole lot revealed other than the fact that she was an elemental master of Amber. So that's pretty much all we know about her. But in terms of what made her fall for Chen, who's to say? I mean, it's very possible that he could have just manipulated her into a relationship, which is not a good thing at all. Um, but no, I think Chen still is a pretty fun villain, all things considered. I feel like that's what makes him a good villain. That's what makes him intimidating. He doesn't need powers; he just needs to be himself. So, yeah, I hope that answered your question there. I think that Chen might have actually manipulated her into being in a relationship, which isn't the best thing ever. Um, yeah. uh, what season do I hate? There's not really a season that I hate. I guess there are a couple of seasons that I dislike. I mean, if you can count Day of the Departed as like a season, then yeah, that's my least favorite. But in terms of other seasons, I mean, season 11 is kind of lower on the list for me. But it's not like there's not a lot to enjoy about season 11. There definitely is. In my opinion, there hasn't really been a downright awful Ninjago story. I mean, even Day of the Departed, as much as I kind of poke at that and kind of talk smack about that a lot. It's not all bad. There are things that I can pick out about Day of the Departed that I do enjoy, such as, for example, the music and I guess what they did with Cole's character. But for the most part, Day of the Departed, in terms of like writing and I guess development and all that kind of stuff, dialogue, yeah, not the best. But there are things that I could pick out that I enjoy. Um, so yeah. Who's the worst villain in terms of, I guess, just downright awfulness and just terrible writing, all that kind of stuff? I'd say the Iron Baron, pretty much right off the top of my head. Iron Baron is not a good villain, but in terms of who the worst villain is in terms of evilness, then I'd say probably the Overlord. I mean, the Overlord is like as evil as you can get, so he's, I guess, the worst villain in terms of evilness, but worst in terms of just characters and writing. The Iron Baron, not a good character by any means. Is Morrow a good character? Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, Morrow had a lot of development in season 5. He was kind of introduced as Wu's first failed student, so I think that's a really cool way that they could bring his character. And the fact that he is an elemental master was also super cool. So yeah, I feel like his development at the end of season 5 is also good too. He actually does redeem himself before he dies. So yeah, overall, I feel like Morrow is a good character, all things considered. So. Yes. Is Waffle here? I don't know. Yeah, she's actually behind me on the chair. In case you guys don't know, Waffle is one of my cats, and she basically sits on the chair with me when I do these streams. It's kind of become a habit of hers. She kind of just lays behind me. So I saw a couple of comments yesterday about maybe introducing like a cat camera or something like that. I'm not so sure if that's something that's possible, but I could totally look into that. But yeah, the cats kind of hang out in here a lot, so it could be fun to have a cat camera that we switch to every now and then to check out the cats. So why do I think Shade had gray skin when the previous Master of Shadow didn't? It very well could just be like a cosmetic thing. I mean, he might just be, I guess, changing his skin color himself. I know that people can do that with makeup and stuff like that. I mean, I've seen cosplayers make their skin all kinds of different colors, so it might just be that he's kind of edgy in that way. But it also might be because of his other parent, which could very well make sense. Genetics are weird stuff, but I think he's personally just like using makeup, for being honest. So, if I could have an elemental power, what would it be? Probably water. I think that we're just going to be rolling with that. Water is a pretty cool power, and I think that Nia does a really good job with it. I would like to see more from her. But yeah, water's cool. And yeah, in terms of the drink, we just got a bottle of water. I kind of got a little bit of a headache today, so I figured water is probably the best way to go. So. Yeah, Shade does look like, yeah, Shade would do cosplay. Shade is like Ninjago's closeted like anime fan, guaranteed, 100%. Like I've seen cosplayers that look like that, like at conventions and stuff like that. So yeah, I guarantee you, he's just dressing up. He's trying to seem a little bit more edgy than what he is. Like Shadow Shade, whatever you want to call him. He's actually a pretty cool character, all things considered. I think he has a heart of gold, but he just tries to act like super, like tough and edgy and all that kind of stuff. Which I guess if you had the elemental power of Shadow, I mean, you would be kind of an edge lord like that. I mean, we've all kind of gone through that phase. The whole mom won't let me have 2 fruit snacks in my lunch, so I'm gonna put on skillet, like that type of phase. Yeah, we've all been through that. Season 9 Shade tried to hit on Nia. Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. He's not edgy in the slightest. He's just putting on a show. But no, Shade's a pretty cool character. Oh yeah, I do need to check as well. I'm pretty sure I might be getting a package today with Ninjago stuffs. I need to check my eBay really quick though. Come on. Why do I have 3 notifications? Oh, okay. Maybe. Oh, well, that's awkward. Yeah, so it got delivered, but it got delivered to the wrong house. So in case you guys have not been following my Instagram and stuff like that, I actually bought Neuro off of eBay, the minifigure for Neuro, the Master of Mind, and I accidentally had it delivered to my parents' house. So yeah, it didn't get delivered here. So I'm stupid. All right, good stuff. So yeah, so it's either I drive the 2 hours to go pick up Neuro, or I just have my mom send it in the mail. I'm probably just gonna opt with that. But yeah, note to self: check what address I'm having it delivered to. So that's kind of unfortunate. But yeah, in terms of what's wrong with Skillet, nothing. I mean, Skillet's a pretty fun band, all things considered. I really enjoy them. It's just like the go-to, like I listen to this when I'm like upset type music. It's kind of like I guess the stereotypical example of I guess emo music, if you will. But I like Skillet myself, so I'm not saying that it's bad. I got a playlist on my Spotify dedicated strictly to Skillet. So, and I've done music videos with Skillet's songs before, like Ninjago videos. So yeah, well, yeah, there's nothing wrong with Skillet. But yeah, I hope. Yeah, I hope my mom sends it to me too. I'll probably have to text her after the stream and be like, "Hey, I accidentally delivered a package to your house. Can you send it to me?" So now I got to wait a couple more days for Neuro, but that's okay. I mean, I'll do a haul video when I eventually get him. So yeah, I paid $40 for Neuro, which is not something that I'm proud of, but he is one of like the most rare Ninjago figures in, I guess, to my knowledge. So yeah, probably gonna have to pay a pretty penny for him. But no, now I got him, so that's cool. Um, why can't kids watch the videos? Why, as in terms of why, it just has to do with like COPA laws and stuff like that. I will be doing a video coincidentally later on today. It's actually going to be uploaded a couple hours from now. I made it yesterday, talking about, or not a couple hours from now, later tonight, talking about why I decide to, I guess, promote my content towards an older audience. So, just to sum it up, it's not that younger audience members cannot watch my videos. I mean, I don't care who watches my stuff. I just kind of make it for an older fan base, which is kind of obvious, I guess, in the way that I set things up and present myself. So yeah, it's nothing too big, and I also just need to stress that because of the COPA laws and all that kind of stuff. So yeah. Just got a package. Hopefully, it won't go anywhere until the stream is over. Oh, nice. No, I wish I could have got a package today, but no, I sent it to the to the wrong address. But no, it's not that big of a deal. But yeah, I have some other Ninjago stuff coming too. I just need to check and see what address I sent that to. So yeah. How did Chen know that the anaconda tattoo was necessary for the spell? I'm not so sure if the tattoo itself is kind of necessary. I just feel like the tattoo is kind of like an easy way to signify, I guess, who gets turned into a snake, like after the spell's complete. I mean, everyone that followed Chen has a tattoo, so it's kind of like an easy way for them to, just determine who gets turned into a snake and who doesn't. I guess it's an easy way to label people as well, in case you ever like want to determine whether or not someone is like not being genuine with how they are or what they do. Just check their back. I guess it's an easy way for Chen to just monitor people. So where the Overlord Dragon upgrade video. I'm going to be filming that later today, so it might be out either tomorrow or the next day. In case you guys have not seen my Instagram as well, I recently did modify the Overlord Dragon, kind of made it look a little bit more like the show. At least I tried my best. And from what I've seen on my Instagram, a lot of people have, I guess, really enjoyed it. So yeah, I will be doing a video eventually on it. I'll be filming that later today, and it will be uploaded either tomorrow or the next day. So yeah. Would that mean that the mechanic would also turn into a snake? If the mechanic ever like was like a follower of Chen, because Chen's worked with a lot of people. I mean, he's worked with Ronin before too, but Ronin's not like an ally of Chen in that way. He's just kind of like a business partner, I guess. He's kind of like an equal of sorts with Chen. He's not like a follower as much as he is just kind of like just a random guy that Chen does business with. So, yeah, I feel like the only people that have like the actual Anaconda tattoo are those who have studied under him, because Garmadon and Klaus have them, obviously. Skylar has one, or people that just work for him, like all of his minions and stuff like that. So, working with someone isn't really the same as like having somebody work for you, if that makes sense. In terms of where Ronan is, who's to say? I mean, last time we saw him, I think, was in March of the Oni, when he had that little cameo at the end. A lot of side characters did. Um, but yeah, I mean, you know, Ronan as a character, I don't really feel like he needs to pop up in the story right now. There are rumors that in the Ninjago City Garden set, we are going to be getting a new figure of Ronan, as well as a figure for the mechanic. So I don't know if you guys have heard about that. But yeah, Ronan and the mechanic, speaking of Ronan, might be coming in the Ninjago City Gardens, which I feel like is a very good place for them. So if I don't specify that's for kids, or if it is for kids, will YouTube sue you? YouTube's not going to be able to sue me necessarily, but what they can do is if you don't strictly specify what your content is for, what YouTube can do is basically just remove your whole channel from the platform. And that's just because a long time ago, Google and YouTube kind of got busted for taking information from minors. So COPA was introduced to kind of prevent that, because that's actually illegal to do, and YouTube and Google were found guilty of that. So in response to that, now everyone's being punished. So that's cool. But no, I mean, it does make sense though. I mean, younger viewers need to be protected, obviously. I feel like that's a common thing. So it promotes, I guess, protection towards, I guess, minors that use the internet. So that's good, I guess. But it does have a couple of negative repercussions. I mean, like, specifying that my stuff isn't meant for kids isn't like that big of a deal to me, but it is just kind of it's just kind of awkward to try to specify what your audience is. So yeah, I will be doing a video kind of explaining a little bit more on that. It's going to be coming out later tonight. I've already filmed it, edited it. It's already uploaded on the channel. I could release it right now if I so desired, but it's going to be coming out later tonight, so stay tuned for that. Are we going to be doing the 10-hour live stream on the 16th of January? I have not decided yet. I mean, the actual 10th anniversary is on the 14th, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's when the first pilot episode aired, and I think that's a Monday. So in terms of the actual January calendar, let me take a look and see what we got going on. Jan 2021 calendar. Oh no, that's a Friday. No, that's 2022. My bad. Wait, is it I don't know what day the 14th is in January. I don't know. But yeah, we will be doing a 10-hour live stream, either on or around the actual date of the 10th anniversary. We're going to be doing it for 10 hours, so that's going to be fun. In terms of what we're going to be doing for 10 hours, we can do lots of stuff. I mean, for 10 hours, I'm planning on having a little bit of trivia in there as well, a couple of other things going on. It's just not going to be a Q&A the entire time. I'm still kind of organizing everything. It's a Thursday? Yeah, so we might have to do it the weekend after, because Thursday, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make Thursday. For some reason, I thought it was Monday. Not too sure why. I might just be a little loony right now. But yeah, we will be, I guess, finalizing that as we get closer to it. Obviously, I don't have a lot of finalized information right now, but early this week I do want to sit down and kind of advertise that and kind of figure it all out. So I will be announcing that as we get a little bit closer. I'm announcing when it's going to be. I'm announcing what we're going to be doing. I want to do some watch parties as well. Someone had asked if we can watch the Ninjago movie during the stream, and if that's possible, I'll totally try to make it happen. I'm not so sure if it is possible, but I will try to come up with something. We could also maybe watch some Ninjago episodes. I'm going to try to figure it out. But yeah, I will let you guys know when we get a little closer and when I actually get some information finalized. So yeah, really hope I'm off work for the 10-hour stream. Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like with 10 hours, it's going to be a little more convenient, because obviously people can hop in like whenever and not really miss a whole lot of anything. And obviously, if anyone's feeling up to it, I mean, the 10 hours is going to be uploaded onto the channel after the stream is done. So yeah, you can always watch 10 hours of a live stream. So yeah. Why do I sound like Dream? I don't know if I do. I mean, I never watched Dream's stuff. Um, yeah, I was planning on doing Kahoot for the trivia, because I feel like that could be fun, and then maybe we could have like some prizes go out to the winners of the trivia. That could be cool. Like maybe I could pick up like a few smaller sets, like maybe the epic battle sets or something like that. We could give out as like trivia prize winners or whatever. We'll figure it out. as we get to it. I feel like it's going to be a pretty fun way to celebrate the 10th anniversary of Ninjago if we go through pretty much everything. And obviously, with the 10 hours, I am planning on taking a few breaks in between there as well. So, because clearly I'm not just going to sit there for 10 hours and do Q&A stuff. So, what was the score? We gave the episode a 9 out of 10 for today. Yeah, obviously, if you guys aren't around for like the review portion, don't feel too bad. If you guys ever miss a stream, don't feel too bad. I mean, people have their own lives and people have their own things going on. So, obviously, I know that we have a few regulars here, pretty much every stream. But if there's ever a reason why you can't make the stream, yeah, don't worry. It's quite all right. Obviously, the streams are going to be going up on YouTube after they get done airing. So, if you ever want to rewatch them, find out what I gave an episode in terms of a score, yeah, you can do that. I mean, it's pretty much available for everybody. That's why I really like the YouTube streams, because you can stream live, and then after it gets done, it just gets put up onto your channel as a video. So, found out yesterday I was going through my content that a lot of the streams have been demonetized, so that's fun. So I put in reviews for a lot of them, because for a while I didn't really need to have a manual review on all of them, but now apparently I do. So we're trying to get that done. my, my mom just texted me a picture of the package. Yeah, a way to add insult to injury. um, but yeah, so hopefully that answers you guys' questions. In terms of the 10-hour stream, yeah, I will get information out one of these days here within the week. We'll finalize a plan, so hopefully you guys will stay tuned for that. And obviously, I will advertise it at the beginning of pretty much every stream that we do. So. What's my favorite weekend whip? In terms of an actual remix, I enjoy the Shintaro Dungeon Whip. I think that's my favorite. Sure, it's the most recent one, but I think it's the best one out there. I mean, it's really cool. I really love how it sounds. It sounds like a movie soundtrack, if we're being honest. So, best Prime Empire set. Hmm. For Prime Empire, I really didn't get a lot of stuff, but I guess I would say the Gamers Market, because that's probably the best set that I got from Prime Empire. I didn't really get like the Empire Temple of Madness. I didn't get like any of that, but I did get the Gamers Market, and that's a pretty cool set for figures, you know? I mean, you get Pink Zane. I mean, what more could you ask for? But no, aside from Pink Zane, you just get a whole lot of other stuff too in that set. I feel like it's a pretty cool minifigure pack. I mean, the builds leave a little bit to be desired if we're being honest, but it's basically a minifigure pack, and with that, you get a lot of cool stuff. So can't really complain too much about the Gamers Market. I think it's a very solid Prime Empire set, all things considered, and we will switch to Prime Empire there too. Um, so yeah, what's my favorite season soundtrack? In terms of music for the seasons, I gotta go with maybe season 3. I mean, that has a lot of really fun music, not only from the fold, but also instrumental music playing during the episodes. Zane's theme, for example, when he dies, is used best there, better than it's ever been throughout the series. I know it's been used a couple times aside from season 3, but I feel like that's when it hit hardest. So I'd have to say that season 3 has the best soundtrack, in my own opinion. Which Golden 2021 Ninja do I like? I think Kai has the best design out of all of the Legacy Golden Ninja. The only ones that I have right now, I have Lloyd and I have Jay. I don't have all of them. I'm probably going to be picking up Cole and Kai elsewhere if I don't decide to get either the Boulder Blaster or the X1. I think I'm just going to buy them separately. But yeah, um, yeah, I think Kai has the best design. Lloyd's is cool too. Cole's I'm kind of getting used to. Jay's I don't think is that bad. I mean, I'm kind of looking at Jay's right now. It's not the worst thing ever. It could definitely be um, more awkward in terms of a design. So when I got it in person, it kind of grew on me a little bit more. And that's been the case with a couple of minifigures. They look awful in terms of pictures, but when you actually get them, they don't look all that bad. So Oni versus Overlord, I feel like the Overlord would probably win. Prime Empire should be an actual Ninjago video game. Hey, I agree with that. I always thought that they were going to be releasing a Prime Empire game to go off of that, but I guess it's not too terrible. So, do I think Nia could lose her hair tie in season 15 and get a headband? I would like to see Nia get a headband. I mean, I feel like the only reason why she doesn't have one is because she has the hair tie. But no, I feel like she should totally get one. In terms of whether or not she will lose it and gain a headband, I'm not so sure. She very well could be, but or she very well could, but I kind of would prefer her to get a headband, if that makes sense. Favorite Legacy 2 suit? Legacy 2 is the tournament robes, if I'm not mistaken. In terms of them, I think Kai's honestly looks the best too. Kai, as much as he's like not a character that I relate to very much, he does have a lot of really cool costumes. I think Kai has had like the best treatment in terms of ninja suits. In season 11, though, his ninja suit looks a little I guess underwhelming compared to some of the other season 11 ninja suits, but I don't know, like in Legacy, Kai's been like absolutely like pretty much blowing everyone else out of the water, especially in terms of the golden suits. But no, I feel like Kai has the best Legacy 2 suit. Legacy 3 with the deep stone suits, I'm very excited to see which one of those will actually be introduced as well. I'd love to see more of them come out in the summertime wave, and we have Zane right now. Zane is the only one that we have, but I feel like I feel like we will get the other ones in the summertime. So, is Dareth spying on my roommate? No, she's not here right now. She's somewhere else running errands or doing something. So, I have the apartment to myself right now. So that's fun. Do I think Moro will get a legacy figure? I think that he totally should. In terms of the villains for legacy, I find it to be really awkward that we're just getting like random grunts and not like the major villains for the most part. I mean, we got Pythor, so why can't we get like Chen, Klaus, Moro? I feel like maybe we'll see them in the summer wave for 2021, but I don't know. I mean, we have Pythor, so it's like I don't get why we can't get the other ones. The other main villains. Yeah, me and the kitties. Waffle's asleep behind me. I don't know where the other two are. How am I? I'm pretty good. Um, Woke up early today. I've been up for a couple hours. Sometimes it's like pretty much give or take when I wake up. Sometimes I wake up a couple hours before the stream starts. Sometimes I wake up 20 minutes before. Just kind of depends on what I do. My sleep schedule is absolutely obliterated. So yeah, we start these at 12 p.m. noon. And if I'm waking up 20 minutes before, some people might be a little judgmental towards that. But I am up until like 4 or 5 in the morning. Last night I stayed up. I was actually building some of the old Ninjago sets that I got from my parents' house when I was visiting for Christmas. So I was building. I built the Temple of Resurrection last night, as well as half of the Air Jitsu Temple. Gonna finish it up today. But yeah, I have a few more sets that I brought back that I'm gonna be building up. Do I think we could still get a Wave 2 suit for Zane, like a Legacy 2 suit, like a tournament style suit for Zane? I doubt it. I feel like for the most part, Legacy 2 is pretty much done. We only have the 4 ninja that had tournament robes in the show, so I guess that's what it is. I know Zane has had like a tournament robe through other stuff, like he had one in like some weird minifigure pack, but it's not like show accurate or anything like that, so I don't feel the need to stress out over getting it. So, um, yeah, haven't watched a single episode of Post Movie Ninjago. You totally should. I mean, post movie, you get right into Sons of Garmadon. That's like one of the best seasons. Yeah, post movie Ninjago is pretty good for the most part. It does have its misses, but then again, so did pre movie Ninjago. So, um, yeah. Which Legacy suit do I like the best in terms of Legacy 1, 2, or 3? I think Legacy 1 is pretty cool in terms of how classic it feels. I mean, it's kind of a mix between the original suits and like the DX suits. I think they're like really classic. They were also used in March of the Oni. I feel like for the most part, it is a very solid group of suits. I also like Legacy 2, and maybe when we get the rest of Legacy 3, I'll like them too, as much as Legacy 1. But for the most part, for Legacy 3 right now, we only have Zane. So, um, yeah. Temple of Resurrection's Last Christmas gift I got 2 years ago. One of my favorites, destroyed and lost during a move. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Um, oh, that's rough. But no, the Temple of Resurrection, yeah, it is a pretty cool set. Um, yeah, I know I built it last night, had fun. I still have a couple of other sets that I need to build. As I mentioned, I do have the other half of the Air Jitsu Temple. I have the Battle for Ninjago City set that I'm going to be building up here within the week, and then I have the Legacy Monastery, which I want to put together as well. What do I think of Chima? Not really all that great. Chima is kind of lacking in my opinion. I've only watched the first couple of episodes, but I have seen a lot of the sets. My siblings used to be really big into Chima when it came out, and they had a lot of the sets, and I kind of experienced it through them. And the sets were kind of cool. Some of them were kind of bad looking, but some of them were pretty fun. But yeah, the actual show itself, not all that great in my opinion. There's a reason why I never really continued to watch it. Obviously, I can't make like a huge judgment on it because I haven't seen all of it, but from what I've seen, I'm not a big fan. So I'm not really surprised that it kind of just went out randomly without. I don't even know if it had a conclusion or not. I just know it got discontinued. Do we have the movie Bounty at your place? Yes, I do. It's over on the shelf, right on top of the minifigure stand, which I actually did rebuild recently as well. So I'm going to be adding a few more figures to that. I would add Nero, but he's about 2 hours away. But no, I hope he'll get here within the next few days. Chima did have a conclusion. All right, yeah, I have no idea. I did not watch the ending for Chima. I have seen the first couple of episodes, and I know the theme song, I guess. Not too crazy on that. Movie suits, Sons of Garmadon suits, or season 9 suits. Gotta go with the Sons of Garmadon suits. I feel like the season 8 suits, when you put them all together, they're one of the most solid ninja groups ever, I feel. The movie suits are also really cool too. My only issue with the movie suits is that when you put them all together, Zane sticks out like a lot. If Zane's suit had more black on it, it'd be perfect. And I feel like the movie suits would be one of my favorite groups of suits, if you will. But as it stands, no, I mean, Zane's suit is just pure white, and it's just like a super obnoxious, super bright color compared to all the rest of the movie ninja suits, which take like a darker kind of design. So, not a big fan of Zane's movie suit. Otherwise, Sons of Garmadon works really well because they're not all trying to be dark and kind of a black in terms of color. They're all kind of colorful in their own way. So, doesn't really stand out too much for me. Do I recommend Boulder Blaster, Titan Mech, or the X1 Charger? I can't say about the Boulder Blaster or the X1 because I don't have them, but I would recommend the Titan Mech from Legacy if you guys are planning on getting that. I think for the most part it's a really solid mech. My only issue is the ankles. I don't like how the ankles are built at all. I love how the knees are built, though. The knees are phenomenal. The knees are worth it just alone. But now the ankles are really loose on my copy. I don't know if that's going to be like a different thing depending on, I guess, copy to copy, but on mine, the ankles are really loose. I tried to add those little friction adder pieces, but it just kind of made the whole thing worse, so don't recommend doing that. But no, other than that, the Titan Mech is fine. Again, I don't know about the Boulder Blaster or the X1. I'm not really planning on getting either of those at the moment, but I might pick up the Boulder Blaster if I'm going to get either of them. The X1 kind of throws me off, if we're being honest. Did Skybound canonically happen? It did, but time was just reversed. So I guess you could say that it didn't happen. I guess you could say that it did. Considering how some of the ninjas still remember it, I would, be willing to bet that yes, it is still canon. So I always kind of go with the idea that yes, Skybound did happen, but in terms of whether or not the ninja remember it, that's pretty much up to us, I guess. We know for sure that Jay and Nia do, and I've kind of made a case that the other ninja might remember it as well, but um, that can obviously be argued, so it's kind of up to you guys. But no, Skybound did canonically happen. Do I like season 9? Yeah, Hunted is all right. It's not like it's not the best season ever, but it's also not the worst. It has a lot of stuff to be enjoyed, but it also has some stuff that I just don't care for necessarily. But no, Hunted's cool. Sons of Garmadon is the best of the Oni and Dragon trilogy, I'd say, and I kind of enjoy March of the Oni a little bit more than I enjoy Hunted. In a lot of ways, they're kind of on par. Sometimes I'd put 9 above 10, sometimes 10 above 9. It just kind of depends on how I feel that given day, I guess. Um, but no, I really enjoy March of the Oni as well. I feel like that's a very solid conclusion. So a lot of people don't like it. I think it's fine. Having a lot of trouble deciding which size to buy, Iron Doom or Temple of Madness. I'd probably go with the Iron Doom. I think that's a pretty fun set. I found the box for it in my closet over the weekend, and I forgot that that set existed. And I was looking at the box, and I'm like, yeah, I remember this thing. This thing was awesome. So yeah, I'd say get the Iron Doom. Should I get the Diesel Knot set? Um, yeah, sure, I'd say. I never got that set, so I can't really, I guess, say if it's good or not. But I kind of like the design, though. If you're into like the steampunk kind of aspect, I guess that would be a good buy. But yeah, do I like Rick Astley's songs? Yeah, I do. Never gonna give him up. Do I like Cole as a ghost? I liked Cole as a ghost. I felt like they did a lot for his character, but I don't really feel like Cole needs to be a ghost right now. I think human Cole is better than ghost Cole in a lot of ways, but being a ghost did a lot for Cole's character, so I do have to agree that that was a really good idea. Is Moro worth 850? Yeah, absolutely. Moro right now is kind of going for a lot. I was just looking at Bricklink last night, and the base Moro figure that you can get in like the Air Jitsu flyers is going for a crazy amount. Like people on Bricklink are charging upwards of like $40 for it, like USD. That's kind of crazy for something that you can get in a spinner. Yeah, not sure what that's about. He also came in the Final Flight of the Destiny's Bounty set, but still, it's like kind of the same figure, and it's still that expensive. So yeah, if you can only get it for like 850, yeah, I'd say that's a steal. 250, which set should I buy? Season 12, Master of the Mountain, Legacy. I'd go with Legacy. Legacy's got the better options of those three, in my opinion. How much to get Pixel? I'm not so sure on Pixel's prices. The only Pixel that I need is the Hands with Time Samurai X. That's the only one that I need still, so I'm hoping to get that soon. Yeah, if you're gonna get Mario, yeah, get the spinner or the air jutsu flyer, whatever it is. Um, yeah, I don't know why Mario is being like priced so high. It's kind of awkward to me. So yeah, we can switch to the pilots. I keep on forgetting that we have the pilots as pictures, but yeah, we can run those for a little bit. So is Jay going to die? I doubt it. I just feel like Jay is either going to get captured by the Keeper's tribe or something else is going to happen to him. I don't think he's going to die. So um, why is everyone calling the police on Dareth? Because Dareth is not a good person. Don't be a Dareth. um, yeah, Legacy X1 Charger or the original. I had the original, and the original is really fun in my opinion. It's in pieces right now, but I could always rebuild it if so desired. But no, the Legacy X1, I've watched some reviews for it, and for the most part, I'd say it looks okay. I just don't like how the back of the thing looks. I just don't really like it at all. Honestly, I'd say the original if I had to pick between all of them. So, speedrun Minecraft on the 10-hour stream. I would, but I don't have Minecraft. I don't really have any PC games. I don't really game a lot. If I game, I'm gonna play Pokemon or just mess around on my PlayStation. I don't play PC games all that much. The only one I have is a Doki Doki Literature Club, which is a pretty cool horror game. In case you guys haven't played it, really messed up though. So if you have a fragile heart, it's probably not for you. um, but yeah, no. Uh, I feel like for the most part, PC gamers are kind of, I feel like for a lot of people, PC gamers kind of see themselves as kind of like the higher of the video game hierarchy, if you will. I don't really see a difference playing on PC or playing on PlayStation. I mean, it's all the same game. I don't care. I think we're getting the same experience regardless. If you play on PC, I'm not trying to be offensive or anything. I just feel like, it doesn't really need to be a war, like the whole gaming console war thing, like which console's best. I don't care. I'm just gonna play the game. Is Nia going to jail or is Dareth going to jail for harassing Nia? He should. I mean, he kind of like changed her without her knowledge, so yeah, he totally should be in prison or something. Someone called the police commissioner. Kai needs a personality overhaul. I feel like Kai, for the most part, kind of needs something. That's why I feel like he'd make an excellent villain. Maybe in season 15, Nia and Kai could kind of go up against each other. It could be a Nia story where she tries to, I guess, reverse Kai from villainy. I always felt like Kai could be like the most natural villain of the ninja team. If Kai were to become a ninja, I wouldn't really be surprised. But no, I feel like Kai, for the most part, yeah, he's all right. He's all right in some of the earlier episodes and seasons. I mean, he was the original main character, but I feel like nowadays he's kind of outshined by a couple of the other ninja. I would definitely like him to have something. He had a little bit of something in season 11 with him trying to get his powers back, but no, I feel like if he were to become a villain, I feel like that could work out. And yeah, he was, tempted in season 4 as well, as chat says by Chen. So we've seen Kai kind of go through that before. We've seen him act on jealousy and his feelings just out of rage. So combine jealousy and rage with the evil, I guess, influence of Chen, and yeah, you pretty much got a villain right there. I'd say Kai is probably the most easily swayed ninja to the dark side, if you will. Best overall set without the Destiny's Bounty. Okay, so if we're not counting the movie Bounty, which is my all-time favorite set, I got to go with the Temple of Reijitsu, which is my second favorite Ninjago set, which is a pretty cool set. I mean, I'm kind of in the process of rebuilding it. I built one of these shops on the side, and I kind of have a little bit of a start on the other shop, so I'm kind of halfway done. But yeah, I'll finish that up today. So, um, yeah. They've dumbed down Kai a lot. I wouldn't say they've dumbed him down. I just feel like some other characters have kind of taken the spotlight from Kai a little bit more. I would like to see Kai have something, though. What I really don't want to happen is season 15 to be a Kai and Nia story, which, in case you guys haven't seen some of the rumored set listings for the summertime, we have a water dragon and a fire dragon. So I don't know. I mean, I don't want it to be like Hands of Time, because Hands of Time was like a duo season between Kai and Nia. I want season 15 to be just Nia's. I feel like Nia needs it for her character, and it would be kind of nice to have Nia actually get a season for herself. But we do have a Fire Dragon as one of these summer listings, and I'm not so sure if that's just for Legacy or if it's for season 15. I just feel like Nia should be the main character. I don't want her to share the spotlight with Kai. So. Yeah, I feel like Kai would work as a villain in season 15. That's ultimately what I would love to see. I want to see an underwater-based season with Nia leading the charge and Kai as a villain. That would be my dream for season 15. I want to see it happen. At least we know we're going to be getting like the underwater portion. I've always kind of wanted to see the ninja venture under the water. I've always thought that'd be a really cool idea. It would kind of be like the earlier run of Bionicle. In case you guys don't remember the Toamari, they went under the water in Bionicle and did something. I can't really remember what they did, but I always thought that was super cool to have like the fight move underwater. So I hope we can see that for Ninjago. I'd really love to see that. Kai's hot-headed personality is gone. Yeah, I feel like he's kind of matured out of that. In season 11, we saw a little bit of that, but from seasons like 8, 9, and 10, I don't think we saw a whole lot of that. Kai was, for the most part, kind of different. So what anime show didn't I watch? I haven't seen a lot of anime, man. Especially like a lot of like mainstream stuff. I've never seen Naruto, never seen Dragon Ball, never seen Bleach. Um, I don't know. Right now, I'm right now I'm kind of watching an anime about a bunch of girls that like to work out. So I guess that's fun. It's pretty funny for the most part. Kind of watching it last night when I was building stuff. I don't know. It's a pretty good show. I kind of watch like a lot of really like obscure stuff that not a lot of people have probably heard of. Um, with a couple of minutes left in the stream, why don't we jump into some rapid fire questions? Obviously, the stream's almost over. It went by super quick. So let's go ahead and answer some rapid fire questions. Questions that I can answer in just a few sentences, just to round out the stream. What do I think of anime Ninjago? I think some of it works, some of it doesn't. Some of the ninja look good, some don't. For the most part, I feel like it's fine though. Naruto's awesome. Yeah, I've never really seen it. Rarest Ninjago figure. Um, right off the bat, I'd have to say probably Neuro. So, um, yeah, I got him coming, but not yet. Does Nia have her own focus season? Not yet. I'm hoping that season 15 will be her own. She kind of has the spotlight in Hands of Time with Kai, but she's never had her own. So, um, yeah. I think Zane needs a season. He only had 1.5 a season. Yeah, if they could give Zane like a solid story to himself sometime soon, that could be cool too. But I want to see Nia get something first. What do I think about Mr. Beast? Mr. Beast is all right. I don't really watch a lot of his stuff, but he seems like a nice guy. When is season 14 coming? Early 2021. Can't really give an exact date because I don't know, but I would estimate probably sometime around February or March. Late February, early March, maybe is my prediction. Who's stronger, Kai or Jay? I'd say Kai, just based off of like pure strength alone. I'd say Kai. Um, yeah. What set do I wish I could go back and buy from 2011? Probably the Fire Temple. Honestly, I think that was one that I kind of missed out on. Some of the other dragons too, maybe the Earth Dragon. I would kind of want. Honestly, 2011, I was really only buying spinners because that's all I could afford. Any overused ninja in the sets? Not necessarily. I feel like for the most part, they kind of balance out the ninja really well. I will say that I have way too many Ninjago movie Lloyds, so maybe in the movie line when that was coming out, maybe they included Lloyd a little too much because I have a whole lot of movie Lloyds. So, what do I think of Ninjago Land? I think it's kind of cool. I've never been there personally, so I can't really say too much about it. It seems like a cool idea, though. I mean, a lot of stuff from that section of Legoland looks cool. I just haven't really been to it. I love the Fire Temple. Yeah, I never really got it, unfortunately. I wish I could have, but nowadays it's like really expensive. Do I think Ninjago would have an anime reboot? Very well could. I doubt that it would, though. I mean, I'd be putting money on it not happening. But I do feel like it'd be a pretty cool idea. Would I like to see another Ninjago movie? I would, because I really like the first Ninjago movie. It's one of my favorite movies, if we're being honest. But in terms of whether or not we'll see another one, I doubt it. I would like to see another one, though. Why don't we answer one more question before we round out the stream? One more cool question. One more big question. Okay, we can answer that. What's my favorite song from The Fold that isn't a Ninjago song? Their most recent one, Young and Free. I think it's their most recent one. But yeah, that one's awesome. I really like listening to that song. It's not a Ninjago song, it's just something based on, I guess, The Fold themselves, which is cool, but I could see it working for Ninjago. If they wanted to work it into the Ninjago story somehow, I could very well see that happening. But yeah, if you guys haven't checked out Young and Free by The Fold, highly recommend it. It is a really, really good song. I mean, I found myself, like, really enjoying it. Moved me to tears almost. Not even exaggerating at all. But yeah, Young and Free is amazing. With that being said, guys, thank you so much for checking out the stream today. What we're going to do is do the end of the stream tradition. A lot of you guys are doing it already. Everybody spams hug in the chat. I'll do it twice, that's fun, as we pretty much round out here. We stream Monday through Friday here on the channel, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Central Time, with an episode review and a Q&A, and we will update this day by day. If there's ever a day where I cannot stream, I will let you guys know. Look at all the hugs in the chat. It's beautiful. I say it every time, but it truly is, it's enough to make a grown man cry. But yeah, that'll just about do it for the stream here today. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Went by really quick today. Thanks a lot for tuning in, though, guys. Tomorrow we will talk about Spellbound, which is episode 40, I believe, of Ninjago. So we will talk about that tomorrow in tomorrow's stream. I'll check that out later today, make some notes on it to prep for tomorrow's stream. But in the meantime, we got a couple more videos coming out today on the channel. So hopefully you guys stick around for those. We got one coming out in a couple hours and one coming out later tonight. So hopefully you guys stay tuned for that. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and get started working on some videos for the day, trying to prep some stuff for tomorrow, and I will be prepping tomorrow's stream as well. So thanks a lot for tuning into this one, guys. Thanks for asking questions. Thanks for hanging out, and thanks for being awesome. All of you guys are amazing. Thank you so much for watching, and have a fantastic rest